Today is going to be such an exciting day. So about a year ago, I backed my first campaign on Kickstarter. The campaign that I backed is called Elder Dice Fear the Unknown. It's a series of different types of dice that you can use for D&D, and they offered a wide variety of really cool looking dice. I spent entirely too much money, and it's been a year, but we finally have them. And I know what you're thinking, an unboxing video. In this economy, yes, I spent the money and I want to at least show it off a little bit. So we're going to take a look, we're going to look at the quality, we're going to see what the dice look like under light. I have my phone with me so I can shine light through it so you can see the different colors and sparkles. And we'll talk a little bit about the campaign and some of the other stuff that they've done. Let's jump in. Okay, so now that we have the camera set up, I do apologize about the little bit of jankiness of it. The way that we're doing this currently is I have this on a really crappy stand that I just use sometimes for my phone when I'm doing tie-dye things, just so I have a flashlight. So what we're going to do for this unboxing is up above, right here, you are going to see everything that I received in this, but you'll see everything that I bought right here and the price that I paid for it down at the bottom. Some things that I'm not going to be able to show, I may try to see if I can get them on the camera. It's kind of difficult because they're playmats and they're quite big. So the premium playmats are ones that I'm probably not going to be able to get on, but we'll see. So we'll start going through here now. First one on the list is the Astral Elder Sign. So this right here is the box for the Astral Elder Sign. Notice right away is that the packaging is super high quality. So they come in these little tomes, which are super nice. The box feels really premium. I've already opened these a little bit and I put you'll notice here that it says on the list, for instance, it says 12d6 set or booster pack of the Astral Elder Sign. So I basically bought 2 sets of dice, but I only have 1 tome. So we're going to open this up. Really nice slipcase, as you can see. And then this is the tome. This feels really nice. You can kind of see on the outside a little bit. It looks really good. And then on the bottom, you can kind of see the details for the paging and stuff. And it has like a nice little foil effect in purple on it, which looks really nice. So this was my favorite when I looked at them. This was the one that I was most looking forward to getting. And you'll notice that the way that it opens here is it has a little flap. And then you see the pages on the inside. Open it up. And so these ones were the ones that I was most looking forward to. So the first thing that I'll point out before anything, you also get this really awesome coin, or at least I did for the level that I backed at. So the level that I backed at was called the Doom Edition, I believe. So you get this really awesome, nice little coin that has some really cool artwork on it. Obviously the astral symbol itself that is pertinent to this dice. Inside, before we look at the dice, you can see here, the artwork is super high quality. The team at Infinite Black, they do a really good job with their artwork. The design is just really nice. It has a nice little magnet here as well, which is a nice little touch because I love when it just snaps shut. It just feels really good. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the dice here. So the one that we'll take a look at first, of course, has to be the D20. The numbers on this look really cool. As you can see, there is a shine in there as well, a sparkle in there. See if I can. You can kind of see the sparkle when the light hits it. It's kind of hard to show without having better lighting, but I think this kind of shows some of the sparkle in here. Infinity Black, I have to say, the quality of these dice is really nice. They feel really good. They don't feel cheaply made. I'm glad that they're not like liquid core. I've used a lot of dice that are liquid core and they feel like they look really good when they're actually in motion, but you never really know if they're affecting your die roll. They do give a really good sparkle effect. I love that these ones are just hard dice. And then of course it has the astral symbol on it. All of these dice, they all have different symbols, or they all have the same symbol on it, sorry, for that particular tome, which you can kind of see here. You can see the symbol there for the tome, and then when the light hits it, you can kind of see the sparkle off of it, which is super cool. Infinity Black, they've done a bunch of other Kickstarters as well before. They're located in Birmingham, Alabama, I believe. And I believe they've done 9 different projects, all that have been backed and all really cool. I believe one of the artifacts that I got for this, so one of the things that you get for purchasing is you get an artifact, or artifacts if you bought more like I did. And I think I may have got something from one of their older sets, which I'm super stoked about because the coloring is just fantastic. So jump in and we'll look at another one of these dice. This one is a D12. Again, the quality is just fantastic. The color blend between the blues and the purples makes me really excited to kind of look at the other ones and see what they look like. And the symbols, like there's no chipping on the lettering or anything like that, which I've bought dice before where sometimes the paint on the inside chips. It's inevitable sometimes, but the fact that they were so good on quality assurance for this set is really nice. It feels really good. That is the Astral Elder Sign, silver key. So we're going to put that one away and we'll move on to the next one on the list. Man, they just feel so nice. everything about them, the quality of these feel really good. And the foiling just jumps out in the light, which is super nice. So the next one we're going to look at, and this one was probably my wife's favorite, and aside from the Night Mother, which we'll take a look at later. So this is the Mark of the Necronomicon. So same thing as before with every set that we bought. We bought an extra set of dice, basically. Again, same high quality tome. I don't see any like denting or anything, which is really nice. The printing on it feels really good. Let's take a look at the tome itself. Slip case, again, in like immaculate condition. These dice are probably going to look really nice. Let's pop these open. Oh yeah, these are awesome. Okay, let's take a look at the D20. So this one is probably one of my favorite. The way that they managed to get the black and red just merging together in there is so cool, and the sparkle just adds a little bit extra to it. Try not to go too far in. We can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so you can see the sparkle a lot better here. And again, the symbols on these, they just look so cool. That right there, like in the center right there, where you can see what almost looks like empty space between the red and the black, is just so nice. They all look immaculate. There's no damage to the lettering. The corners feel good. They're not so sharp that they like suck to roll with. I have a couple of different sets of liquid cord dice that I've used from time to time, and the corners are just so sharp that it's almost not fun to use because it just hurts. But these ones, they feel really good. Let's take a look at a D8. So again, just the way that it blends in the dice just looks incredible. And just, even though it's red and black, you can kind of see like shimmers of purple in there, which is kind of really cool. I don't know, that's so bizarre. I love it, it looks incredible. All right, and there's the artwork on the inside. I'm gonna try to showcase each piece of artwork because they just look so good. Each one came with a little card in the box, and then of course there's the Elder Dice stuff at the bottom there that you can kind of see. There's the artwork. Dave and his team at Infinite Black have done a really, really good job with these dice. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's take a look at the coin for this one. Yeah, see, these coins look so good. Now, they currently have a Kickstarter that's going to launch soon called NOCTURNUS. I highly recommend checking out that Kickstarter campaign. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. The reason I suggest looking at that is just some of the stuff that they're offering for it. And this is just from being in the Infinity Black Discord and hearing what some of them are talking about and some of the stuff that they're going to offer. Like they're going to have like hand-carved leather books, I think was one of them, for the main manual. Keep an eye on that specifically, on that campaign. It'll be down the page for it will be down in the description. Let's move on to the next one. Wow, just such high quality. And it's kind of jarring because when you look at a price like 335 CAD for me, because I'm in Canada, you would think that that's a lot, but for the quality that I'm seeing here, I would actually think that that's a really good price. I have bought more expensive things and gotten less quality, for sure, and been very disappointed with my purchase in the past. I am not disappointed with this purchase. For the amount of stuff that I received, and for how good quality it is, I can't complain. It feels really nice, it feels premium, and, you know, this is something that we play Dungeons & Dragons, my friend group, quite often, and so having good dice that feel really nice to roll, you know, like I 3D print dice towers and stuff for all of us, it means a lot to have really good sets that you like playing with, and having variety too. So next on the list is the Seal of the Yawgmoth. This one here, this one was tied for my favorite. Normally my favorite colors are purples, but the way that this blue and teal jumped out at me, immediately I was like, okay, no, I need to get this. All of these arrived in immaculate condition. I've had no issues whatsoever with any of them. No damages to the box or to the cases or anything. And just the detailing on the foil and stuff on the actual tome itself is really cool. So again, the foiling on the outside of the box is just, God, it just looks so pretty. I love all of the artwork on the side of this one. And of course the back. And then we'll crack these open and take a look at the coin first for this one, so that I don't forget this time and so that I remember to put it back in. And there's the coin for the Yogg-Sothoth. Yogg-Sothoth? No, Yog Sothoth is what it is. I gotta say that 10 times fast. So again, all the coins feel really premium. They don't feel cheap. The painting on it is really good. The enamel painting feels really nice. Okay, so the reason I really like these dice, let's break out the D20 first. The blend of blue and green in these is just like, these are gorgeous dice. Absolutely incredible dice. And just the way that they shimmer in light, I'm really excited to play these. Like right there, you can see the green flakes and the blue sparkle on the inside. Again, like this one is just, I assume, a resin of some kind. And there's nothing wrong with these dice. Like, I haven't seen any messed up corners or anything. I did a bit of a visual inspection, but just the color in these is incredible. And no chipping on the paint, which is always nice to see too. And then we'll showcase the artwork, because this one is just, this is beautiful. Seekers of the Way. Then there's the dice in all their glory. They did such an incredible job with these. Next, we'll look at the slipcase. The slipcase is kind of cool because it's like a way to like keep your tomes together. So this is the slipcase that you get. It's a Kickstarter exclusive. Again, feels really high quality. I work with a lot of, so the job, like what I do for work, I deal with, I see a lot of products just because we ship a lot of products, and the quality of the box is something that you never anticipate being an issue, but I've seen boxes that have a similar feel, but they rub off really easy, or like they transfer paint, or they scrape really easy, and this one is actually in quite good condition. And you'll see that it says Elder Dice Fear the Unknown 2024 Kickstarter exclusive Doom Edition slipcase. The cool thing about this is, so we have our tomes here, right? Yeah, so it's meant to be without the cases. And so you'll see that you can actually fit the dice that you purchase in here, and then you have a nice little way to carry them around, which is super neat. It's cool that it's a Kickstarter exclusive. Again, artwork is just out of this world, and the foiling just looks incredible. We're going to move on now. I will put the premium playmat just on the screen. I don't know if I'll be able to actually show it correctly just because of the camera setup, but let's try. So I got two of the same playmat for one. So this is, I won't be able to show it, so I won't take it out of the box, but this is the Doom Edition, or sorry, this is the Doom Edition Revelation of the Traveler playmat. So, let's see here. The artwork is really, really nice. The cool thing about these mats, and I have opened this mat so I know, is one thing with playmats that I dislike, whether it be Magic the Gathering playmats or even like mice mats that you use sometimes, or keyboard pads, is if you don't have stitching along the outside of the actual playmat, what ends up happening over time is if it's one that you travel with, like it's one that you use for Magic the Gathering or use for other things, then what ends up happening is it starts like curling on the ends, and the stitching actually helps reduce that. So these have stitching on the ends that's super nice, stops it from curling as much, which is super cool. And then the other one that we got two of these just because the purple and the yellow just was such a beautiful combination in my opinion, is this one here. I'll give it a second to focus. Find that sweet spot. There it is. So this is in the shadows of Innsmouth, which purple is one of my favorite colors. And so as soon as I seen this playmat, I was like, yep, we need one. And then my wife wanted one as well because she thought it looked really cool. And again, all of them are premium stitch, which is super important because it stops them from curling. Box design, as with everything else that has been in this package, really well done. And then there's the size there, in case you were curious about the size. So it's 24 by 13.5. So if you play Magic the Gathering, that's a perfectly sized mat for Magic the Gathering. You'll just have a different mat than anyone else, and it'll look super cool. All right, so next, after the premium playmat, we have probably some of my favorite things out of this. I've never been one for these, but these ones turned out really nice. And the thing that I like about them is they're not super pointy like most big D20s, and that is the 3 D20s that we got. So we'll bring 3 of these out here actually, and this is probably just the easiest way. So I know for sure out of the D20, this is the Reanimator. And I love this. Again, the coloring is just super cool, but I also just love how this looks like. It kind of looks like a Jello cup, where you just have like the cream on the bottom, like those old school Jello cups that you used to get that had like 2 tones and 2 different flavors basically. But I love the stark contrast from the white and green to the red. And then of course we have to find the D20 symbol. Just, you know, we gotta look at it. There we go. And even these ones, the thing that I love about them is even these ones, yes, they're a little more pointy, but they are still not like sharp. I have dice that are smaller than this that are really, really sharp and actually just like not fun to play with. One thing I will say about the text in these, or the lettering in these, they, especially on this one, they use like this metallic paint almost, and it looks really, really nice. It just shimmers, which everything about this dice shimmers. But it's cool to just have a really nice big D20 that feels really nice, not too pointy, it feels premium. This one is probably my favorite, and this one is gorgeous. The color scheme for this one is just absolutely incredible, and the symbol, it's just like, it pops out. And the sparkling, like just on the inside, is just, it's so pretty. And you can actually kind of see like a 2-tone change here, where it seems darker on the 1, right? And then lighter up towards the purple, which is so cool. These are really well made. Again, none of this is like chipping or anything. You're seeing me wiping it off. It's just dust from my desk. So that's the 3 D20s, the big D20s. Now we're going to jump into some of the cool stuff. When you back it, you also have the ability to do add-ons. And so the add-ons that I did was I did unspeakable artifacts. So I got 2 unspeakable artifacts. And then I also added Crown of the Night Mother, which was like a Doom Edition thing. And then the 2 playmats. So let's take a look at the first artifact, or what I believe is the first artifact, because they're random and you don't actually know. So this is a pin set from, I believe, one of their previous campaigns. Let me look at their campaigns here, the campaign list. Journey to the Tree of Sorrows. Red Wine Collectible Enamel Pin Set. So these are really cool. I think these might be from, so I believe, just based on the symbols, it kind of looks like Shards of Illumination, if I'm not mistaken. Because these 3 symbols are from the Shards of Illumination campaign. So these 3 here. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure someone will. Oh no, it is. It says right there at the top. I'm an idiot. Shards of Illumination. So this is one of the artifacts that you get. So this is from a previous Kickstarter campaign. I haven't opened these just because I tend to try to keep stuff like this closed. It's not something I'm ever going to wear. It's more of a collectible for me and just kind of like a cool, hey, like I got this for supporting this Kickstarter kind of thing. Now, the next one, or the next 2 maybe? The next one is from their Prismatic Infinity, I think it is. I think this one is also from a previous campaign. And this dice set looks absolutely incredible. So yeah, this one is the Sigil of the Dreamlands. Really, really cool set. I assume it might also be from Shards of Illumination. I'm not entirely positive about that though. But let's crack it open and take a look. Cool. So again, and this goes without saying, everything Infinity Black does with their artwork is just really, really nice. So that artwork is absolutely gorgeous. And then the side, same thing. So let's pop it open. Let's take a look at the dice. Now, I only have 1 set of these dice because I only purchased 1. Or I didn't purchase it. It was actually an artifact, as mentioned. So you can see it says Yog Sothoth is the key. And again, just the artwork is so beautiful. And this actually, when I took a quick look at these, this was one of my favorite set because the sparkling in this is just, it just looks so good. The color blend's incredible, and look at that. The cool thing about this one is it has empty space in between the sparkling, so you kind of get like a transparent effect that then goes into the coloring, which is super nice. I wish my camera would focus better so I could get it closer, but I actually think this is probably a little bit better. If I get too close, it's going to throw it off. Yeah, just incredible. And again, lettering looks amazing. Bring the dice up so you can see them kind of up close and see how cool they look. Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous dice. Like, look at this. Look at this D4. Just absolutely gorgeous. This one just looks so cool because there's not a ton of color in there. It's actually a lot more transparent. But just being able to see through it and then seeing the blend of colors is just really, really cool. Okay, let's see what else is here. Again, slipcase. Absolutely awesome. There were 3. I'm actually not sure what the other one was now. I know there is another one. I will take a look around for that, I think. The next thing I want to show you guys, just because this is also just an incredible piece. This is the Doom Edition. So this is the Astral Elder Sign Doom Edition. Which is... Oh, actually, this might be the other relic. Yeah, I think this is actually the other relic, because we do have another set of dice. This must be the other relic. So this is another set of dice, now that I think about it. So that would be the 3. It would be this set, the other set that we just looked at, and then it would be the pins. This one is... Yeah, this is from 2020, so this has to be the other artifact. Cool. The slipcase is really tight on this one. So, this one I actually haven't looked at, so this is going to be my first time seeing it on screen. Let's open it up and take a look. I love the way that they do the foiling on the pages. It's kind of hard to tell just because when the light hits it, it just gets like crazy washed out a little bit. But the camera does not do this justice. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is the astral symbol. So I have a purple one of the astral symbol that I really like. I actually really like this one too. I'm curious to get the dice up close, so I'm going to take one out here in a second and kind of bring it up close. Here we go. And they all come with these little cards, which unfortunately I don't have here at the moment. But let's take a look at the card for this one, just so we can see it. So this is also from Journey to the Tree of Sorrows. So this is the card here. Astral Elder Sign. The Astral Elder Sign is a magical symbol that wards against immaterial entities from other planes. It is also used as a powerful focus in spellcasting. Its exact origin is unknown, but it may have been first used by something alchemists to counter the creatures conjured by some name. Not going to attempt to pronounce that. And this is the inside of the box. Cool, let's take a look at the dice. I just kind of want to get them up close and see. Let's start with the D20. So this may actually just be just like a black and red dice. I'm gonna put my phone light on it. So it looks like this one is just solid black, maybe? Solid black and red. Even still, that's still like just a really cool dice to have. I love just like two-tone dice as well, so this is really nice. If I am wrong on that though. And again, the symbols, let's take a look at this one. It's the same astral symbol on the other one. No, you know what? There is some sparkle in there. It's very faint. You can... Yeah, there's definitely a little in there, but it's super subtle. I imagine that these sets would probably look insane during the daylight, and I'm not just using like a light that's at like 15% currently. And then we have one more thing to take a look at, and that is the Crown of the Night Mother Doom Edition, which was a exclusive for backing the Kickstarter and for helping fund the project. So let's jump over and take a look at that. So the thing that actually made us end up spending more on this project is this next set of dice that we're going to look at. Initially, we had only planned on buying like one of each set, and then they announced this as one of the stretch goals, and my wife seen it and went, "Oh, I guess we're spending more money." This set looks insane. Like, the box art for this is just crazy. They really do put so much effort into their into their artwork. That's just insane. And this is the Kickstarter exclusive for funding the project. So let's pop it open and let's take a look at these. See, like that tome is gorgeous. Again, the red reflection on the pages. It's little details like that that just, they put so much effort into it. How this looks like little stamps. Just absolutely gorgeous. Everything feels super premium too. So these ones have sparkle, which is, yeah, see, those look so insane. So I'll bring these up to the camera so you can kind of see it from here, and then we'll examine a little closer. And of course, we are going to read this card because that looks really cool. So let's take a look at the card. Elder Dice Infinity Black. The crown of the Night Mother is the symbol of a sorority of witch priestesses dedicated to the worship of the Night Mother, the primeval goddess of fertility. The symbol is carved into trees to indicate the territory of the Night Mother and the ground consecrated to her. Very cool. I love how it has like a little library, like it's like, this is from library. For official use only. Very cool. Alright, let's take a look at the coin first. So, this is probably my favorite coin. My only complaint I think that I have for the coins, it's not actually in its quality, so I still just happen to have one out here. They did this, so it's different for this particular one. So this is the one from the astral sign, from the astral elder sign, silver key. And the black and gold looks really clean. It does. It's not that I dislike it. However, I would have loved to see the coin match the color of the dice. Like this is absolutely gorgeous. The enamel paint on it is really, really well done. It's not chipping, doesn't feel like it's flaking. It's really, really premium. Nothing on the edges in terms of like cracking or anything. Super well done. I wish, and this is like pipe dream, I wish this, like if I had this in purple and silver, I am so happy with this set. Just to be clear, this is, for the value that I got and what I spent, is astronomical in my opinion. I just wish that it would have been colored. And that's just a me thing. I also really like the cleanness of gold and black. Next, let's take a look at this D20. It's usually the first one I like to inspect. Again, you can see the sparkle in it when the light hits it, which is so cool. The flashlight on my phone doesn't do it justice. I'd love to have like a little light that I could shine through to show you. But I actually think, just based on what I'm seeing on my little camera screen here, I do think that we're seeing some decent color in there. You can kind of see the blends of the red and the blues in there, which is kind of cool. It kind of looks like a galaxy. All right, let's put these away, and then we're gonna hop back to Facecam, and we're gonna do a quick rundown of everything, and my thoughts on the Kickstarter and whether I would back another Kickstarter from Infinity Black. So the question after examining all these dice that you're probably wondering is, would I back another Infinity Black campaign? I definitely would at this point. So if you just look at the quick napkin math between if you were to buy these items individually compared to what you get, and then all the additional things that you get with being the coins and the slipcases, for me, one of the artifacts I got was the buttons, or the pins rather. There was a ton of extra value there, and there's only a difference if you look at these items of about $77 if you were to buy them individually without all of the additional things. The experience for me, being my first Kickstarter, I was kind of nervous. You always hear horror stories of people backing Kickstarter campaigns and them going disastrously or not getting over the finish line, and then you have to fight for getting your money back and things like that. They've had 9 successful campaigns, I think, so far, and all of them have been funded by an exorbitant amount, and they've delivered on every one of them. The nice thing about them as well is that they've also done a really good job of posting updates and sending out, dice when they were in the manufacturing process and giving people a teaser of what to look for. They have another campaign coming up soon called NOCTURNUS. I highly recommend checking it out, and I'll leave a link for that down in the description of the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope you enjoyed.